meeting May 14th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. The time is 5:32. We are at Grayson County Courthouse. Are we good? We're good? Okay. Opening business is approval agenda, consent agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Mr. Clerk, I'd make a motion to change the agenda to include the nomination and election of a chair and vice chair for the PSA.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Okay, so we'll start with nominations for chair. We'll start with nominations for chair to our PSA.
I'd like to nominate Dr. Thompson for the chair.
There's been a nomination for Dr. Thompson. Any other nominations? Okay. Second for that.
Second.
Mr. Cunningham, second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor for Dr. Thompson as chair of PSA?
Aye.
Opposed? None. All ayes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, bear with me. Okay, so we're gonna move on to opening business.
Nominate vice chair.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Any nominations for vice chair of PSA?
I nominate Paul Richardson.
Okay, we have a nomination for Paul Richardson. Are there any other? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Paul will be our vice chair.
Thank you both. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. Okay, so we will move on to approval of agenda and consent agenda. Do we have our minutes from the last meeting, or we need to go over anything from the last meeting?
No, we don't have. Go ahead.
Sorry, I forgot to print it
Oh,
It's okay.
out. Sorry. Were there any additions or
It's okay.
corrections? Yeah.
Okay. No additions. All right, do we have any old business that needs to be discussed? No, okay. Moving on to new business, the Avian Crest discussion.
Okay.
Gloria?
Yeah, if you look at your place on the map over here, I'm coming to this a little late, but it seems to be. We had Zach Jones was our PSA director. Zach resigned last week, or let us know that he's no longer going to. He didn't want to be the PSA director anymore, but he called me about 3 weeks ago and asked me to take a look at Avian Crest Lane and said there were some folks out there that had been asking for water, and one particular family had said they had talked to somebody and said water would be coming a couple of years ago. I'm not familiar. I don't know. I didn't talk to the homeowner, but he said, they've been asking for water for a while. He had paid his deposit, and so went out there and looked at Avian Crest, and so we printed out a map. I don't know if everybody's familiar with. You're coming off a skyline. If you look at
I was going to explain.
oh, go ahead.
If you're going south on Route 89 after you pass the Edmonds Road intersection, you keep on going. It's on the left, the lane on the bridge before you get down to the parkway. So that's where I'm at. I'm sorry.
No,
No, thanks for
it's
the
good.
explanation.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So if you look at, we have highlighted Avian Crest Lane there, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 or 7 houses there on Avian Crest. Currently off 89, if you go right past Avian Crest, our water lines run down 89, a little ways past Avian Crest, and that's where the blow-off site is, right past off 89. What they requested is to run a water line, just at the beginning of Avian Crest, all the way, to the end there. So that's what the request is from, the homeowners. I don't have exactly the number that, I think we have 3, maybe 4 that have paid a deposit. So that signifies to us that they want water. We have one we know, we talked to, this is what I was told, definitely does not want water. From my understanding, they're having a lot of iron, a lot of problems with the current water that they have. And so if we want to run a line, we would have to have some contract help to do this. We can't do this internally ourselves. So we would have to contract out the work. We have Alan's given me a general estimate of $30,000 to $35,000 to run a 2-inch line out that road. We have to use our bores, our equipment, our folks, and get with a contractor to run the lines out there. So these folks could have water. He also said they may have to have some type of secondary pump because, the roads like this, they may have to have some type of secondary pump at their house to get water, to get consistent pressure. But I do know that the first house, I think, does this work? No, I don't work this. Work. The first house there, he is adamant about, getting water line run to his house. And then, so some of the other homeowners have to ask as well. So, my question is to the board is, do you want us to pursue the total cost of this, pursue getting, lines run out to, 5 to 7 homes here at potentially a cost of $30,000 to $40,000. If you need to think about it, if you need more information, we certainly come back. But I just heard about it a couple of weeks ago, and I know the homeowners called a couple of times pressing for water.
What's their current water source?
Well,
Their own wells? And they're having issues with that
my
water?
understanding is a lot of iron issues, a lot of dirt filter issues, changing filters all the time, those type of things. Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah.
On the filter out. My grandfather actually built 3 of those houses.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Okay.
I know they're not in that close of proximity to our guys over on Longview or Louisville Lane. But do we foresee any issues like we ran into with that project where it went from, to like $600,000?
Not based on what I'm.
We don't want that to happen.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen. I don't think we want to spend $500,000 to get 5 people in. If we can spend $30,000 to $40,000, I think we're talking about a reasonable cost to the county to provide water. We're talking, a couple $100,000, then we got, my opinion is maybe we try to get a grant first to try to
Absolutely.
try to do that before we spend that kind of money. We can get further information and come back, and it's going to take a little more work, but you may hear about it. This is the first I heard about it the last couple of weeks, but the one homeowner's very upset he hasn't had water in the last 2 years, and I don't know why. He thought it was coming, but we just got a little lane done not too long ago.
Right.
Yeah, so.
What, can you later give me that person's contact information since they're in my
Yes, ma'am.
district?
Yes, ma'am. Any thoughts, questions?
Could we go ahead and reach out for some contractors to give us some bids?
We have.
Okay.
Depends on how far we go.
So we're getting bids just to see how much it might cost to get water to those 4.
It looks to me we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, possibly 5. The other option, we could set meters along 89 and have them do that, run the line if it's cost prohibitive, but I do think it's a reasonable call. If we can get a reasonable cost in to do this, we do a lot of the labor and work ourselves. I think that's
30 to 35 sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
That's
as long as we don't, if you lose a drill bit, that's $5,000, things like that. So,
very good point.
and of course, we'll have to use all our Allen's folks will do all the digging and trenching and that kind of stuff.
is the water line on the house side of the road or on the other side of 89?
It's on the house side of the road.
On the house side, so you don't have to go under the highway.
If we had to go under, Mr. Watson, it'd be a heck of a lot more for sure.
Yeah.
Permit with the state.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Is that all for that? For the Avian Crest?
That's all we have.
Okay, finishing up new business, see that we have no updates for PSA. Any other discussion?
We'll talk a little more about recommendations for water rates at our budget meeting, but obviously we talked a little bit about Grant Troutdale, just leveling those costs out, but we'll have a little more discussion on during our budget session about that.
And,
I have a question, Madam Chairman. The PSA money, what fund does that come from? To provide water to the people that are on county water?
It's, the PSA fund is separate from the general fund, it's in Fund 501, and the revenues for that fund come from the users of the water system. Now,
But they're just paying for the water, right?
well,
The usage of the water, like the $8 or whatever.
yes,
The maintenance comes and to maintain the lines, where does that money come from?
if the fees for the water usage don't cover those costs, then we are making a transfer from the general fund to cover those.
Okay. So in the future, do we need to look at maybe add a maintenance fee to the water bills from the PSA?
I think that was an option that you talked about at the last budget meeting.
I'm just trying to, because right now, they're getting water at cost. If I remember right, they're getting water at cost, at what it's costing us to get them that water, but not to maintain the lines.
that's
Exactly.
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I just want to clarify that.
So we're looking into a possible grant
I
for
think,
this project specifically, I guess.
Madam Chair, I think that if the cost is, I use the term reasonable, if the cost is not excessive, then a grant option would, unless it exceeds 6 figures up. I don't know that we would have options for a grant that I'm aware of. Usually rural water grants are larger in nature. We certainly can explore that, but that's a year and a half, 2-year process.
Do we have other county residents are considering county water off of this line, the Troutdale line, what's the other, Freeze?
Freeze is its own system. The,
Fairview,
Fairview,
Old
one down, Knuckles Curve.
I mean, do we have any other people that's expressed interest in hooking up to those lines while we are exploring the option of putting this line in?
Well, I don't know if I can. A lot of times people call and ask for water. Is there potential water running towards my house?
Right.
And depending on the situation, like this situation, we go, okay, do we have a fix for this issue? Some we just don't. Okay,
Right.
if it's running out Beaver Dam Road for 3 miles, okay, I don't have,
Exactly.
we're gonna spend $1.5 million county, probably not gonna do that. If we're talking about something we can do for the citizens that is kind of within our budgetary constraints, we might have an option to do something, that's what I'm saying. And if they're having major water issues, then maybe we can do something. We don't, it's a service that the county tries to provide it as best they can with limited funding, as you know. I think the Louisville Lane process went on for several years. To do that, but that was $600,000 project. That's all I have.
Any other questions? Comments? When is our next PSA meeting?
We usually do them before a regular board meeting.
If we need it, we'll have it. If we don't,
Just asking to
mm,
let us know whenever you fill that position.
certainly will. Have we advertised? We have applications. We'll start the interview process again. And
Kind of like that.
we got
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Uh-huh.
Chair also.